World touring DJ Kevin Crown is one of the best in the business, so it was only fitting that we sat with him and did a deep dive into Kevin Crown the individual and Kevin Crown the personality. On this episode of Elite DJs, Crown takes us on his journey to success and paves a pathway for aspiring DJs. His narrative is one of humility and gratitude, which made this interview quite refreshing and inspiring. Hi, Janine McMahon here with Caribbean Elite Magazine, and tonight we are sitting with world-renowned DJ Kevin Crown. Yes. Kevin Crown has been a friend of mine's for quite some time, and the trajectory of his DJ career is extremely phenomenal, and we thought it made sense to feature him in our upcoming issue this January.
Oof. Yes. Hi, what's up?
Hi, how's everything? So Kevin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, world touring DJ, fitness enthusiast, but not just a DJ, entertainer, MC, host, motivational speaker sometimes, but just a guy that never gave up, and now I'm really seeing the results of years and years of preparation and hard work. It's actually amazing. I thank God every day for it.
That's really great. So how did you get your start?
You know what? It was something that it was just something to do. When I first started DJing, it was just to make mixtapes, cassettes at the time, because the cassettes you found on the streets, they would be like 90 minutes, you know 45 on one side, 45. And for me, I would only enjoy like 15 minutes of the entire tape. So I said, you know what? Maybe I could just get my own records and make my own tapes and do it to my liking. And it's just something that it developed over years into this phenomenon that I never started out thinking it would be this. I just wanted to play music.
So I remember when I first met you, you were still doing construction.
Yes.
And DJing on the side.
Yes.
When did you decide to give up construction and take on a full career in DJing?
Well,
being a disc jockey?
I was it was like duality, because working construction is very seasonal. So, there'd be times where you work, and any given moment, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, it didn't matter. They would lay you off, and then you'd be on your own for 6 months, 7 months, and then the union would call you back and say, you know what, show up to this job site tomorrow. But I always DJ. DJing was always something, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, sometimes Thursdays, that I could count on. So I always knew I had to make the decision. But strangely enough, one day, after an incredible weekend in Mexico, I DJed for like 7,000 people, 16 events in 4 days. And I went to work the next day. And after work, I fell asleep at the wheel, and I had a little fender bender. Thank God nobody was hurt. It wasn't that bad. I pulled out whatever money I had in my pocket. It was like $500, and I gave to the guy so he wouldn't call police. And I went home, and I thought about, what if I would have ran a red light, or what if I'd have hurt somebody because I got lack of sleep doing a job that I wasn't passionate about. And I just called up my supervisor and said, I'm taking a leave of absence, and I never went back.
Wow. And it's a decision that, to me, in my opinion, it was one of the best decisions you've ever made. I am so extremely proud of your journey, and I follow you quietly sometimes, but I cheer you on all the time, because I remember where you came from, those Element days.
Yes. Oh man, those are some of the best times,
yes.
though. That's an error. I think that's what's missing now. There's no, I don't know what era we're in now in New York. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine the other day, and I was like, do you remember those days when those NBCK boys used to come out, and Peanut and Bingy, and they would bust a move on the dance floor, and you were all a part of that network, and I feel like that, organic, authentic
fun
energy and fun is definitely missing from I call it the scene. And I wish that we could get back to that.
I think we can. I think somebody, people like myself need to take an active, effort in doing so, because, I travel so much. So I really don't get to play in New York like how it was every week. Every Friday, you knew it was going to be Kevin Chow, Kali B. Saturday, you knew where it was. You know, you would have this guy on downstairs, and it'd be Kevin Crown and Majesty all night downstairs. So the consistency that on any given weekend, you know, you want to get a vibe, this is where we going. I think that's missing. I think people have to know, well, who's playing? Who's the promoter?
Yeah.
You know, what's the dress code?
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of things people have to think about before they come out to events.
And then there's this notion of trying to be in with the crowd, right?
Yes.
So I feel like that's where a lot of the fun is missing. And I honestly feel like social media did that.
You really?
I really feel like social media did that, because I feel like back in the day, yeah, they used to have their cameras and they'll video each other and stuff, but it was more about having fun and
Yeah.
enjoying the party. Now, because of social media and, you know, having these number of followers and all
Yes.
these different things,
Yes.
being a part of the clique and a part of a certain group, or, you know,
Yes.
it
Yes.
propels you to different things, and so that's more the focus.
Yeah, then actually
we're
having
missing
fun.
the fun.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. It's, you know, you know, it's funny because you see pockets of that when you go to carnivals, because carnival is about that fun. That's why I say soca events has to be some of the most euphoric, the most memorable events you can go to, because it's really not about that. It may start out like that, but it never ends like that. When, you know, when the alcohol or the music or the vibe or whatever hits, you just see people just honestly just enjoying themselves. And then even if somebody catches it on video and they look back, they was like, wow, this was what's going on. So it's, you know, it's there, but it's not there in abundance like it was.
It's not as organic
No,
as it used to
absolutely,
be. I think that's
absolutely.
what's missing.
Yes.
The real, like, natural vibe and flow of how things went from just coming in, chilling, grabbing your first drink,
Yes.
to just pure,
Madness.
I mean,
Yes.
chaos, but
Yes.
like a beautiful chaos.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because I look back to try to find footage of these things, and it's really not there.
It's not because
Yes, it wasn't that wasn't the focus.
That wasn't the
Yes.
that wasn't the vibe. That
Yeah,
wasn't the wave
you,
back then. You know?
you have like these old like tales like about, yo, remember when people, you actually remind me, yo, remember when you made the light man, you know, take off the lights and you said whatever you said, you know, I met my girlfriend that turned into my wife on that night.
Wow.
You know, and I'm just like, wow, I did all that. I was just, you know, just being me, you know. But you know, I've had people come up to me, Kevin, you know, the music you played and the way you played it, I felt like I was spiritually connected to you. I'm like, whoa. But you know, when you start hearing it so much, you're like, I guess this is something to it. So you know, I'm very thankful because you know I was going through a lot, and you know, a lot of unsureness and just a lot of just things. Even though on the outside it was just like, you know, Kevin Crown, I kill clubs. You know, coming back home is like, yo, can I do this? Can I sustain a lifestyle? You know, just doing this, and you know, I just took a leap of faith, and you know, years later, it's every time I'm on a plane, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe it.
This is happening.
Yes.
So what's your formula for sustainability? Because it's not an easy career, you know, to
I
fund a lifestyle with a family.
I never get comfortable. I never people some people have told me you're one of the biggest DJs in the world, or you're my favorite DJ. I don't think of myself as that. So I'm always doing my homework. I'm always, you know, seeing, yeah, that was great, but how can I be more great?
Right.
You know, the music I play and what I play is great. How can I be more great? How can I preserve my voice? How can I deliver in a better way? And then I look at, you know, I put myself in the minds of the people, you know, because, you know, people turn 21 every day.
Yes.
So their capacity for music, and not saying they don't know old music, they wasn't there to experience it. So you could know a song, but to know when a song was new and when it dropped here, or you was at a carnival when this played, like for instance, anybody went to Trinidad in 2019 and went to Kes Tuesday and saw him cry after he performed Savannah Grass.
Yes.
You're emotionally connected to that song.
Yeah.
Now, even me talking about it now, every time I play it, I get something here. And this is something I thought was just something with me with music until people started talking about it. Every time I hear that song, I get something in my, I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. So when you're emotionally connected to those moments, it's different if, like, say, 10 years down the line, somebody, yeah, I know Savannah Grass, but you wasn't there.
Right.
So, like, the younger people, I have to put myself in what is their sweet spot of music when they were 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. What's the sweet spot now? So I'm always doing my research, and I'm always acting like, I haven't made it yet. So I always try to come with my full energy and full performance, even though, it's sometimes I'll go somewhere. I'm like, all right, time to go, and I'll say my little prayer and do my preparation, and they say Kevin Crown, and the crowd goes, ah, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is gonna be a good night.
Yeah.
So it's a good feeling to know that I don't have to prove anything. I'm just going out and providing a service, so it's pretty good.
I'm definitely all about improvement, because I think that's where your craft continues
Yes.
to live on, and that's when you start leaving legacies.
Yes.
And I can tell you now that you're a legacy DJ.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
hands
so
down.
much. Thank you so much.
And what I absolutely love about you is the fact that you remain humble.
Thank you.
Like, I've known you from almost day one,
Yeah.
in a sense.
Right.
And to this day, I have not seen a change in you whatsoever.
Yes,
You haven't gone Hollywood
No,
on
no.
me, not yet.
You know what it is? People tell me that all the time, but I've been around stars, I've been around actors, I've been around millionaires, I've been around nice cars, I've been around supermodels. I even dated a model. I've been around these things, and I never did this or said this is what I'm doing to achieve those perks.
Right.
As we call them. I was DJing before I knew what women were or sex was. It was about the love of the music. So when I found myself being around stars, and then you talking to them, and then you see them outside of the limelight, they're regular people just like me and you.
Absolutely.
They have regular struggles. Some of them have real financial struggles too. And my dad, he told me one thing that stuck with me. He said, fame without fortune doesn't mean anything. So because he used to see when I would keep these parties and hundreds of people would come out, he would always say, son, make sure you're getting paid. And I've always said, that's something I'm gonna stick by. And even my daughter, she says, Daddy, you're famous. She saw me on TV the other day on a Black Ink Crew. Shout out to the Black Ink Crew. And she's like, my daddy's famous, that means I'm famous. I'm like, Katie, I'm not famous, I'm just popular. But people say, Kevin, you're a Caribbean superstar, and I don't see myself as that. I don't walk around, you know who I am. But pretty much everywhere I go, it's like, I know who you are. So it's just something that I just don't let it go to my head.
I absolutely love that. When I hear you say that, I think of that song. I might not know your name, but I know your face, right?
Correct.
And when I heard that in soca, I'm like, that is so
Yes.
absolutely true, because I get that a lot. Where there's people who say hi and do
Yes.
different things, and I'm just like, yeah, I remember this person from somewhere, and I might not know their name, but I definitely
their
know
face.
who they are. And the soca community is so small,
Yes.
right? And it's crazy. You start talking about this one person to somebody else, and I get this, it's a small world moment
All the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
Being around the soca community.
Yes, it's that song. It's strange enough you say that, because sometimes I've even said this on the mic. There's people that we see for years, and we would genuinely be hurt if we found out something happened to that person or they passed away, and you would not know their name. But you definitely, it's like a family.
Yes.
It's like a family, and it's like, I feel more connected to certain people who don't even live in this country, because I see them all the time.
Yeah.
And they, it's we are connected, especially the DJs and entertainers. We're connected to the best times of their life, so they always have us. They just smile when you was there, when we was at this carnival or this juve or this show or this cruise, and I feel very good to be able to do that for people, because I understand it's very hard. It's a hard life. So to be a part of people's good times is always a joy for me to see.
I love that. And I love that you mentioned that, these individuals who have that fame,
Yes.
Are regular just like
Mhm.
us. My mom always said to me, we all bleed red.
Yes.
And I always take that with me. And so I'm from St. Kitts.
Of course.
And shout out to St. Kitts,
Shout
because I
out
know you just
St.
shelled down the carnival.
I had no clue. I apologize to every Kittitian. I apologize to you. I had no expectations about the carnival, just because I had no knowledge of how beautiful the women of St. Kitts
No, you had
are.
knowledge because you've
No,
known me
I
for
had
a while.
I have not, but it's just like, well, that's Janine. That's not a representation of the
Of
whole of everybody. When I went to the island, I was floored. I said, "Oh my gosh!" And then every island is nationalistic, and there's nothing wrong with being nationalistic about your country. But St. Kitts readily welcome you with open arms, and it was just a great experience. And I already put it out there to my DJ friends, and DJ friends who turned it down said, "Kevin, I'm coming next year."
And I appreciate that,
Yes, no
because there were
problem.
a few turn downs,
Yes,
you know what
no,
I mean?
that's
But
okay.
you obviously came highly recommended. I highly recommended you,
Thank you.
absolutely, because you're like my favorite.
Oh man.
But I mean, we were in contact, and I looked at videos, and I got so many messages,
Yes.
and it was all positive. And I got these videos of you moving the crowd in a way that the people back home have never seen
Really?
or experienced. Yeah,
Wow.
because a lot of them haven't been to multiple carnivals. They don't have the opportunity to do that, whether it
Right.
be work, family, finances, what have you. And being able to experience that, and it's something that they see all the time,
Yes.
but never had that experience, was like, it was amazing for them.
As an international DJ, we have a hard job of pleasing the traveling carnival chasers,
Yeah.
but most of all the locals, and people who are, I call them casual soca listeners, or casual carnival people, because let's be frank, this is expensive. This is an expensive
What are you
taste
telling
to have.
You need like 5 jobs.
Right. So when I heard somebody post on Instagram, why do they bring the same international DJs to these countries? We want to hear the local DJs. And I said, every country that I've ever went to, every show I've ever done outside of the country, has always had local DJs. And you're looking at it from a perspective of a carnival chaser. You're not looking at it this perspective of a local, where you don't see Kevin Crown or Private Ryan maybe once or twice a year. And they actually looking forward to it. No disrespect to the local DJs, because I have respect. And I have local DJ friends in every country. You have to, because you're not going to be able to know the music by somebody who was born and raised in that region. But that's not my component. That's not my reason for coming. My reason for coming is not to replace the local DJ. My reason is to come as an international DJ, and learn their music, so I could carry it back home, and carry it to the next island. But also all the knowledge of music I have internationally, to bring that international vibe to the country. So like you're saying, they've never experienced it before. It's my first time being there, so I'm glad I was able to, be different, but still embrace. Because because I had to go to St. Kitts, I probably got like 700 songs from St. Kitts live band edits and all that I would have never needed. But because I was going there, and it was a nice contract, I will say that. I had to do a good job. So not saying because they paid me well, I research the music, because that's just something I do. I love music. But it's great to see the impact of music in different places. You know?
And so, with that being said, because for years, Jay and I go way back,
Yes.
and Chasen and Shaka, those Element days.
Yes.
And I used to always say, why you always don't play some St. Kitts music in the club?
Right.
And they'd be like, what is that? What
Right,
is
right,
St.
right,
Kitts
right.
music? So now that you've been there
Yes.
and you've experienced it, what's your feedback on that music, that small island music?
It's full of energy. I love energy. I love the instruments, and I love the live band aspect of it, because a lot of places you go in the world, they do not respect the power of a live band. And it's like, that's when the crowd comes alive, with their live bands. And just the crowd is it's just a happy place. I love good energy. And St. Kitts, from the time I landed to the time I left, was nothing but good energy. Unfortunately, I didn't get to sample the food, because I'm vegan recently, so I had to eat I couldn't eat everything St. Kitts had to offer. But I also judge places that I go off of their food. So I have favorites and not so favorite. But the vegan food I ate was delicious. So I could imagine everything else.
Well, they loved you. You were well received, and they cannot wait to have you back.
Thank you.
So you've done countless carnivals.
Yes.
All over the country, all over the world.
Yes.
What has been your best carnival experience and your most memorable carnival moment?
My best carnival experience. I would say St. Lucia last year was definitely my best overall carnival experience. Shout out to Verve, Zuvo. That was one of the best carnival experiences. Just the whole vibe of St. Lucia was just it was epic. That's all I could say. It was just epic. I have a video on YouTube that could show you.
Feel the energy. Right. Yo, Zuvo. So my girl, bubble on the bottom, bubble on the bottom, bubble on the bottom, boy, right. Hands up, everybody, hands up. Hands up, everybody, hands up. Hands up, everybody, hands up. Yo, we coming up the road right. She like man, we ride. Big ride is man we ride. Top right, so she like man.
Bunny rabbit and touch bunny floor. Your hands have to touch bunny floor. Never know you coulda touch bunny floor. Your hands have to touch bunny floor.
Kevin Crown, natural born club killer.
Strange behavior. What's it for crazy people jumping up in the van? All kind of different things they have in their hand. They're jumping up and down, they don't give a damn. Carrying on like them is some hooligan. We gon' mash up everything like we have insurance, and tear down everything like we have insurance. We gon' shell out everything like we have insurance. When crazy people reach out to have insurance, cause we have insurance.
It was just epic, and just the things and the viral moments, and it was so many viral moments that happened, because we say back in the days we didn't have the camera, but everybody had the camera. And when St. Lucia Carnival was going on, it was viral all over the internet. And that's when that's when the carnival hashtag got actually banned.
Yes.
For like a couple of weeks.
Yes.
I don't know how, but I'm happy you people, you hashtag gods got it and lifted the ban off of it. But yeah, it was so many viral moments that happened that really dictated the pace of soca for the rest of the year. And my most memorable, I would say, was 2018 Crop Over, because after St. Lucia Carnival last year, the day after I came back to New York, I had surgery on my knee, and 6 days later I went back on tour. And my first stop was Barbados. And, everybody knows me for being energetic, jumping around, dancing. And for me to have this knee surgery, DJs, we don't have sick days, and we don't have we don't have a fund where we could stay home and get disability. So it was either I stay home or take the chance, go on the road, nurse my knee when I'm off, but still perform. And I was doing great, but climbing up on that truck with an ice machine, little electrodes, and being able to perform and actually deliver a good job, it just showed me like, you can pretty much do anything you put your mind to. And of course, I recovered from the knee surgery. I don't want to say it wasn't painful, because there were some painful and tearful moments behind the scenes, but I did it, and it's just a testament to the things that we go through to entertain.
So I have to say, St. Lucia Carnival looked extremely fun. Just looking at videos. I should have been in St. Lucia. However, my granddad got sick.
Oh, man.
And I had to fly out to the UK to visit him. We didn't think he was going to make it at the time.
Okay.
But thankfully, he's still here.
Oh, nice. We love that.
He's still doing good. But yes, I would say, based on videos and viral moments, I have to agree with you hands down that St. Lucia was a very great carnival. So see you this year.
Yes.
But when you talk about your knee surgery and going through that situation in Barbados, I think of the word tenacity, and I think of the time when you had surgery on your arm.
Yes.
And you were DJing with one hand.
Yes.
And I think that's when my level of respect for you grew. And like I said, I follow you on Instagram.
Right.
And so I see it all, and I literally cheer you in the background because...
I'm feeling it now. I spoke about this on Uber Sober Cruise in my DJ class, and I actually broke down in tears.
Really?
Yeah, because I got stabbed in my arm. My radial nerve was severed. I didn't know it at the time, but when I went to the hospital, my hand was like this. I couldn't move my thumb. The doctor at the time, he said, yeah, you have to have surgery, you have nerve damage. He knew right off the bat. So I had my cast on, and I thought everything was good. When my cast came off, I couldn't move my hand at all. My hand was very small, very skinny. It was stuck, it atrophied, and I couldn't move. And I just remember feeling so helpless. And the doctor told me, he said, listen, you can't drink, you can't smoke, which I don't do anyway, but he said, these things impede the healing process. And your nerve, after a month, is going to grow back a micro, whatever it was a very small fraction of a meter every day that it would grow back. And he had no idea how it was going to heal. And I was like, yo, if I don't heal good, I don't want to be, one-arm DJ. I don't want to be that guy that, I didn't want that. But I still had to perform. So when I came on stage, I remember that day clearly. I came on stage, I had my painkillers, had my arm in a sling, had my mic stand. All my friends was there helping me, my bag and everything. And I left the radio station, I came and I set up. And, I DJed with the one hand. I had the mic on the tripod the whole time, and I DJed for like 3 hours. And when I was done, Jay Upscale came up to me and said, yo, bro, you did it. And he didn't know until that when I broke down in Uber, he didn't know how much I wanted to cry. Because, you want to do a good job, but when somebody tells you something, when you have so much against you, and I had even though that was going on, I had a lot of issues with people in high places in the industry that I could have just really quit. I could have really just quit it. It was like, Kevin, you have a college degree, you have a career, you could just go and do electrical work, come home every day, watch TV, and be miserable. And I did that, and obviously I healed back. I started going to the gym more than ever. I achieved which turned into a 3rd-degree black belt when I stopped martial arts, but I went back. I think that happened, and I don't regret it. I think that put me in a trajectory to greatness. I don't know if that would have happened, but because of all those things, and I don't know why I'm so stubborn, and I never quit. Those things, it turned me into who you see before me today. So when you see me, and I might pose a picture with me with my shirt off, and I got the hashtag Kevin Crown abs, and it's not because I'm a cocky individual. It's more to inspire people. Like, if you understand what I went through, and there's a picture somewhere in the studio with me. I'll show you after that, with me when I fresh out of surgery. The scar is still red, and I look so pitiful, man. And for me to overcome that, when people have their darkest moments, I think it's important they could look at Kevin Crown, look where he came from, and you could draw strength from that. So it's pretty much that. It was. I'm happy I'm not crying right now, but
Well, so I read the book The Secret.
Okay.
And I'm a believer of the teachings of The Secret, and one of them is, when you think positive thoughts, positive things happen.
Amen.
Positive things, like, you manifest those things. You put it out in the universe, and the universe gives it back.
I agree.
And that's exactly what you did. And so I applaud you, because someone else would have given up.
Yeah, man. I think all the time about, I had so many bad things, and as a result of the bad things, I used to have animosity. Well, why I'm not here, why I'm not doing this, I'm just as good as this person, I'm just, why I'm not there. And one day I let it all go, like a weight, like a big book bag. The book bag when junior high school the kids have with the big bags, and sometimes some have the wheels. It's like I literally took the weight off and I put it down, and I forgave everybody who had anything negative to say, anybody who blocked me. I forgave them, and my performances became so much more happy. Like, people say, Kevin, you smile when you DJ. I'm like, yeah, because nobody likes negativity. Because if I wake up in the morning, I go on Instagram, or I go in a party and be like, yo, I can't stand this. Even if people agree. And I say, yo, I cannot stand pickles. Which I don't. I don't like pickles. But first of all, you alienate all the people who do like these things. Or they feel you might be talking about them. Also, you put a negative thought in the people that agree with you. Because now it's not like, yo, I love ice cream. It's not, I love ice cream. It's, yeah, I hate pickles too. And you start thinking about it. And right away, that negativity takes over your soul. So imagine you waking up every day to somebody saying, yo, I hate pickles. I hate this. I hate this. Every morning, you're going to be like, agree or disagree. It's going to put you in a negative space. Instead of somebody saying, yo, I love palm trees. I love ice cream. I love soca music. When you start talking and just gravitating towards the things that you love, you automatically uplift people. So, when I put down the negativity, I just became a happier person.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is a strengths-based approach.
Yes.
Like, there may be negative components surrounding you,
yes,
but you're looking at all the positive things that could help propel you, as opposed to focusing and manifesting on the negative, because when you manifest on the negative, the universe gives you negative.
That's a fact.
And so I appreciate that. That's your mindset.
Yes.
And a lot of individuals need to have that mindset shift, which you did have,
yes,
in order to, succeed and propel themselves to do whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah, I think we need to be more self-critical.
That too.
I think, as good as I am, and as good as I become, I'm always self-critical. And when I'm very open to critiques, I will always defend myself because I'm me. But to be honest, I may have had an off night one or two times in my career. We're human beings. Everybody has off nights. LeBron James, maybe the only person who probably has never had an off night, rest in peace, was maybe Michael Jackson. And maybe, I'm not sure. But, at the end of the day, I'm always self-critical. And when I look deep within myself, I said, Kevin, the fact that people are fighting against you and the fact that they're telling you no and you're not quitting is actually making you better. Mm-hmm. You sharpen steel with steel. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that made me into who I am today. So I have to be thankful for those things and those people. And I actually talk to these individuals today, and I don't tell them, that you doing these things to me made me who I am, but I appreciate them. I appreciate what they did, even if it was from a negative intention. It made me so much better at my craft. Sometimes I actually look back at videos of myself. I'm like, wow, this is crazy, man. So I'm living in a very good space, especially in 2020 right now.
Well, kudos to you.
Thank you.
You have healthy mindset.
Yes.
Healthy, lifestyle.
Yes.
Healthy and clean eating.
Yes.
You have your PL90.
Yes.
Which I would love to hear some more about.
Yes.
I think I need to sign up for that program.
Right. So this is the thing. PL90 started with a group of my friends and family members in a Instagram chat group, and I've always been in the gym, always in some capacity. When I was competing, training, testing, always fitness in some aspect. So I've never really fallen off like some of my friends. So, they was just really talking crap to each other about who could get in shape. And somebody said, yo, I could get in shape in 90 days. And, they gave, like 5 of them, gave each other 90 days to be in the best shape, the best transition. So they all took pictures, and I was a judge because, I wasn't in.
You were already in shape.
Yeah, I was already in shape, so I was like the benchmark. And then they did it, and the winner, Lynx, my boy, he's like my brother. He said, yo, we could keep going. And he said, let's open it up to the public. And he said, what we gonna call it? And we came up with the PL90, which is Pump Lifestyle. Which actually has nothing to do with soca music, but it kind of sounds Pump Lifestyle. 90-day challenge. Then we opened it up to a WhatsApp group and we maxed out the WhatsApp group. And then the next time we opened up a Facebook group. Then we did a YouTube. And then, I have the Kevin Crown ab. We have our ab routines. And Lynx has like the Quickie with Lynx. I don't know about that name, but that's his thing. The Quickie with Links on YouTube. And, people was like, yo, why are you doing this? I was like, because this is something I know. And I say this on Instagram sometimes on my story. When I went to junior high school, every morning they made us say the Pledge of Allegiance. And the principal, I believe she passed away, she used to make us say this: knowledge is power. Knowledge is great. That's what I appreciate. I will do my best. I will toe the line. I will make that knowledge and power mine. We said that every day in junior high school. It stuck with me. And then one day I analyzed knowledge, and I analyzed college, PhDs, masters, this and that. I said, people pay thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to just validate that they have knowledge. That's all it's doing is validating the knowledge that you have. And I said, you know what? The knowledge I've gained about fitness is free. I didn't pay for it. It's just something I acquired. And I went back to knowledge is power, knowledge is great. That's what I appreciate. I will do my best, toe the line, make that knowledge and power mine. And then I said, you know what? A lot of people, when they get knowledge, they hold on to it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And they like, if you have like in the hood, you got a hookup, you got a plug on something. You don't share it with nobody. You hold on to it like it's lotto numbers. And I'm like, why do that when I could uplift the people around me, and everybody comes around me, I could give them a gem about fitness, about diet, about my experiences, and maybe they could share it. So people say, yo, how much is this? I'm like, yo, it's free. We're just about making our community better. Because I'm like, yo, listen, there's people out there that know how to build credit. There's people that know real estate. There's people that know, recipes and, all type of things that if I was the guy that said, I'm going to give you this knowledge in fitness, these gems that I know, you're going to get it for free. What do you have? Oh, I know how to build credit. Oh, I know how to, how big the community and better we could be within 5 years if we all did that. But, most people look at it, everything I do, I have to get money from it. But money is just a vehicle towards whatever you want it to be. And a lot of people spend that money on knowledge or the certification that you have the knowledge. So I just look at it, if I give this to the universe will give me back.
That's right.
So it's just my even exchange and my contribution to the world. So that maybe somewhere along the line, and it happens all the time, where I get it back. And I don't know how I get it back. Maybe it's what I'm doing now in my career, or I've learned so much, and it's all been for free. So that's just my state of mind, man. I don't know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but
it works for you.
It works for me.
And that's what matters.
Yes.
That's just what matters.
Yeah.
So I think it's really great that you and your friends decided to do this thing.
Yes.
And it's charitable because it's free.
Yes.
And it's something that it doesn't benefit just you, but it benefits the community. I think that's really, really awesome, and I commend you for that.
Thank you very much.
What is it like collaborating with other DJs?
When it's good, it's great. There have times when it has been subpar to my liking, but now as a rule, I won't work with a DJ I'm not familiar with. It's just not professional. There are times where the first time you've worked with a DJ, you've clicked. Mm-hmm. And like there's times like me and Kali B, me and Private Ryan, me and my boy DJ Mario in Jamaica. It just was like, yo, we think the same. And, without preparation, just organically, it just was good. But then there's sometimes where the timing was just off, and it just, when promoters, they'll say, yo, you mind micing for this person? I'm like, nah, I don't know this guy. An artist wouldn't just work with an artist he never met or never worked with. That's unprofessional. Right. And artists, unless you're talking about Marshall or something like that, are on stage for 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. You're on stage for an hour, 2 hours. Like, no, I can't do it. But when it's good, it's great. Like me and Private Ryan, everybody, you see me as the one of the voices for Private Ryan. Shout out to Barry Hype. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Rigo. And the many guys that work with Private Ryan. Working with Private Ryan is unique because you don't know what he plays. And as a rule, it's almost never a good idea to keep showing your back to the crowd. So if you're in front of the crowd, it's never a good idea to keep running back to his laptop to see what's next. So you got to connect with the crowd, and then you just got to really just feel out what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And I think doing that, it made me exponentially better at MCing. Because, I now can just do that with other DJs. Whereas before it was, yo, what's the next song? Okay, I gotta, say something connected to this song. And what's the next song? And then it's like, yo, really? Soca music ain't really talking about much. Drinking, partying, jumping, whining. Yeah. Just connect.
Yeah.
And just when you do have those special moments that are rehearsed or routine, like, there's a jump that I do that I only do on stage when Ryan is there, where I jump and do
Is that the toe touch?
The toe touch.
Yes.
Right. I think I'm the only DJ that does that.
That's amazing.
And the first time I did it, I wasn't even DJing.
Really?
It was in Trinidad. It was in Trinidad. Soca Brainwash. I wasn't on the cast, but I was there. And the DJs, they I think they had an agenda to get me drunk. Because they kept, I didn't want to be rude, and as a rule I don't drink, but for whatever reason it was Trinidad, it was cool, they kept giving me Hennessy, but it was coming from all over. So I found out what happened and I ran. Same time Barry Hype said, yo, we want all the DJs on stage. So I winded up on stage. So it was waiting on the stage. And the jumping part, I think I was so drunk, instead of jumping, I jumped and did the toe touch. And it winded up in the video, and everybody like, yo, who was that? It was like, that was Kevin Crown. It looked so crazy. I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing this. So now every time Ryan, it's either two songs, Waiting on the Stage or The Skinny Fabulous. We have an army of people.
Okay.
I am the general. Boom!
Oh.
Right? So I never know when it's coming.
Right.
But when he drops it, I know it's time to jump.
Yeah.
And he knows it's time because that's all he plays. He goes to the next song. So it's like those special moments. And of course we have the Wet It Up that we've done all over the world. You know, we were the guys that first did it with the water bottles, and and now we have Nasty Up with the powder, and it's so many moments that came that were first organic, that has become a part of the routine, that I have no idea when it's coming, but I know how to execute when it does. So it's so much fun to just DJ for him, because I get caught when the audience gets caught. So the reaction they're having to him playing music is often the reaction that I have. But then when we put it together, it's epic. Like, and we're on stage for 2.5 hours minimum doing what we got to do. So this is Ryan is one of my favorite guys to work with, as far as him being the DJ and me being the MC. But I'm also a DJ as well. I can also mix. So we have Rigo. We're kind of like two peas in a pod when it comes to that, because we MC and we talk. So there's times where I'll DJ and he'll talk, and then we'll switch, or we'll be on stage together and we're just letting the music run. Yeah. And we're doing whatever we're doing, and that's another energy that people don't get to really see like that. But it's it's fun. Well, like I said, when it's good, it's great. And I love working with DJs. Even me and Barry working together while Ryan is on stage is another energy that it's just something that I love, and I actually want to do more. I want to maximize it more. I have a crazy idea. I'm gonna tell you guys. It's, nobody don't steal my idea. I want to utilize the screens. Like, how they have all the screens on the big productions. Yeah. I want to do something where I run off stage. Like, say I run to the left and then come back on the screen. And then the segment of whatever's going on will be me on the screen. Right? And it could be like a wardrobe change. It could be us setting up for anything. It could be wherever it is. And then when I run back off the screen, I run back on. So it's going to be like a virtual reality, back to reality moment. So, yeah, that's something I want to go over with Ryan. We might pull that off
Soca Brainwash TT.
Soca Brainwash TT.
So I was at Soca Brainwash this year in Trinidad, and what a display. Yeah. I'm not just talking, like, you guys were great. Yes. But the decor. Yes. The attention to detail. Yes. I do event planning on the side, and I was in awe of what I walked into. It was amazing. It wasn't expected. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I'm glad. I appreciate. I'm glad for the. I'm just happy for that party, man. That party put me on another level. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And I have to tell you, like, kudos to you on that toe touch. Yes, because I used to cheerlead in college, and it is not an easy feat. No, it's not easy, no. So, kudos to you. After knee surgery, pulling off I think one of the highest ones I ever did was in Jamaica, or somebody caught it. It looked like I was literally like 7 feet in the air. Wow. So there was space between me and my legs were perfectly straight. And I'm like, Private Ryan's, his theme for Brainwash TT 2020 is the Orient. Yes. So it's going to be a lot of
ninjas.
Yes.
And so that toe touch. So that toe touch. You know, honestly, I plan on going to adult gymnastics classes to see if I could learn a backflip.
Oh,
To
yeah?
backflip on that stage. If I could backflip on that stage, or have the courage to do it, it's gonna happen. I already got my outfit and everything for it. I once he told me, I went and I got it. It's done. It's in my closet. It's there. So yeah, man.
Well,
Yes.
good luck with that.
Yes. Hopefully I don't damage myself too much. But
I mean, I think with right practice, you'll get it.
I
You
think
know,
so, too.
And the right equipment.
Yes.
My baby girl does cheerleading.
Yes, okay.
And there's equipment that you use to get that back handspring installed.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And so come to Connecticut. I'll hook you up with her cheerleading coach.
wow. Okay. Now I got. This is something I got to do this week. This is something. The week coming, I got to get on it. Monday or Tuesday, I got to get it. Along with my squatting and my martial arts, I have to get on it this week because Trinidad is next month.
Yeah.
So I have like 7 weeks or whatever it is to prepare for this
Yeah.
epic moment that will or will not happen. Either it's going to be Kevin backflip or Kevin broke his neck.
But we don't want the latter.
No, we don't.
We need some more of you.
Yes, we don't.
We're not ready for you to
We don't.
go yet.
It's going to happen or it's not. But, that's some of my performance goals.
Nice.
Just to say the least.
I love that you set those goals.
Yes.
We're looking to it. So
Yes.
now you have to actually execute it because
Right.
you mentioned it.
Right. So if this was going to happen, if it happens, then you can show the moment. You can show this part of the interview and be like, "Yo, he actually, yes." So but that's something. That's one of the many shows I'm looking forward to, and I think it's a new decade. We're in the 20s. Every time I say this, I'm like, we're in the 20s because you didn't know what was 17 at the teens. What was that? In the early 2000s was, I feel like from 2000 to 2019 was the early 2000s. I think that all was the early 2000s. It was the singles, the teens. It was early 2000s.
Yeah.
Now we are in the 20s. We gotta do better. I'm not saying what we was doing wasn't great. We just gotta do better.
Yeah.
I gotta do better.
I agree.
You gotta do better.
I agree.
Gotta do better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you mentioned Rigo.
Yes.
And I love him as well. I
Yes.
remember him with Pantrin Vibes.
Right.
Secrets Days.
Yes.
Way back then.
Yes.
And his journey
Yes.
has been phenomenal as well.
Yes.
Very proud of that. What advice would you give to an up-and-coming DJ to master and preserve their craft?
First of all, they gotta understand that when you look at Kevin Crown and Regos and Private Ryan, you have to respect the time and the work we put in. So there's a lot of times when you come across a younger DJ or up and coming DJ, and we're on the same bill, they try to outplay us, or they I don't know if they're trying to impress us or they're trying to show that they're on the same level as us. And 10 times out of 10, it goes bad for them. Because the best thing, what makes a great DJ is experience. And an experienced DJ can always work himself out of any situation. So one, stop trying to compete with people like myself. Stop trying to compete with anybody but yourself. Compete with the person you were yesterday. Do not compete with the people around you, and definitely don't try to compete with the people who are above you. And I'm not saying I'm better than you. I've been doing this longer, so I'm at a different stage where you have not reached yet. That's when I say above. This is the stage I'm at. This is the stage that you're at. It's just a ladder, right? So the people that you're around, don't compete with them. That's a crab in a barrel mentality. The crabs in a barrel, they compete to climb up the ladder, but they're always dragging each other down. Yeah. Me and Rigo succeed. Me, Rigo, Chow, because we are like the New York industry traveling guys. We don't compete with each other. We uplift each other. If Chow went somewhere and I've never been there, or Rigo went somewhere, I'm like, yo, you going to Mars? Yeah, I've been to Mars. Yo, how is it over there? How much did you charge them? Now, I don't undercut. I don't overcharge. I stay in the realm. So it's like, yeah, Kevin charges this, Rigo charges this, Chow charges this. no matter what, we can't always go there. We can't always go to Mars. So maybe this week they have Chow, next week they have Kevin, the week after they have Rigo. What this also does, it keeps us out of each other's way. So instead of competing for the small food in New York or this country, you know, we're uplifting each other to stay out of each other's way. So uplift the people around you. The good ones will rise to the top. The bad ones will eliminate themselves. All right, so stop going around saying, yo, this guy's trash or this guy's bad or, you know, I'm better. Let your body of work speak. Uplift the people around you. They will uplift you. You guys will rise. And just trust there's people like me who will pull you up to where I'm at. Because I fully understand this is a cycle and it's a wave. And right now, it's my time. But it won't be my time forever because I saw guys before me that it was their time. And it's not their time anymore. And it's just the way it goes. It's just recognizing there's going to be your time and just prepare for it because you don't know when it's going to happen. You have to be prepared. So work on your brand, take your pictures, have your logos, have your press kit, have your media kit because you never know when somebody might see you and it could be one song, one thing you said, one moment that the right person's songs that could have you in Africa or Dubai. And they're going to call you and they're going to say, yo, we want to bring you to Dubai next year. We want to bring you to Dubai in 2 months. Send us some pictures. Send us your logo. Where's your press kit? What's your website? If you don't have these things in place, you're going to scramble to get them in place now because they want to do it now. You should always be thinking that, yo, one day I'm going to be a headliner, so I have to take my pictures. I take quarterly pictures. I take pictures for the winter, for the spring, for the fall, for summer. You know, you can't be on a summer flyer in a winter jacket. You know, you can't be on a winter flyer or a white flyer in anything. So, you know, you guys, there's a lot of things that even DJs in my caliber are just not doing. So be self-critical of what you're doing to maximize where you're at, and be positive, and it'll happen, hopefully.
So the fact that you pay attention to those details is very impressive because I'm all about the details.
Yes.
So I absolutely love that.
Yes.
Have you ever thought of doing an apprentice program?
I actually have.
Oh.
I actually have thought about doing like a webinar and then having people, shadow me. But like my schedule is so crazy.
Yeah.
We get inquiries every day for bookings all over the world. And, this is a business and I have a family, so I got to work. So it's kind of hard to structure those things when I'm always flying, I'm always out of the studio. I built the studio to do radio, and I haven't done radio in so long. So I want to be able to do more podcasting, more interviews, definitely get interns to just show them there's so much more than putting two songs together and talking in a mic. And it's so much more than that. And if you take it like that, that is so not respected when they think of you as just that type of DJ. They don't respect those type of DJs. They don't respect 2 songs and talking on the mic. You could be extremely good at it, but if they don't look at you as a brand, forget about it. So if you want people to look at you as a brand, you have to look at yourself as a brand first. So that's why you always see my logo. My logo's tattooed on my arm, actually. My KC, the Kevin crown is tattooed with the crown and the headphones. That was one of my original logos. I tattooed it on my arm. And I will wear a Kevin Crown shirt before I wear any Louis Vuitton. No disrespect to Louis Vuitton if you want to send me some stuff. But I will wear any brand. I will wear my brand before I wear any brand because this is me. That's where the NBCK, the Club Killer movement taught me so much about that.
And it's been a long-standing movement.
Yeah.
So it's definitely important to you preserve your brands, and I completely respect that. And for you to find a way to travel and still be able to share that wealth of knowledge would be great. So you have some brainstorming to do because I think some people would definitely
I think
appreciate.
the universe has, we've known each other so long, but I think the universe has put us together at this time, at this moment, for a reason. So let's not waste that opportunity.
So we're gonna wrap up real soon.
Okay.
We could I know I could talk to you all day,
Yes,
all night.
yes.
I do want to ask you about Uber Soca Cruise though.
Okay.
So I am a seasoned cruiser.
Okay.
Was there from year one.
Okay.
And been there every year, and I've seen your body of work on the cruise from start to finish, right? I think you came in 2017.
2017, yes.
Right? And this past cruise season, I literally sat back and I was like, yo, that's my friend. I don't just know this guy. I know this guy.
Right.
And I'm so proud of everything that you've achieved. I
you.
can't stress that enough. Miriam was back there with
Yes.
us back in the day,
Yes.
and we literally
She's a big advocate.
Yes.
That's my friend, man. I love her, man.
all the time. Yes,
Yes.
we love you, Mary.
Yes, I love you too. But the funny thing, I'm gonna be very candid with you right now. Uber Soca Cruise discovered me after they booked all their DJs for year one.
Okay.
And they saw me in a number of events, and they were like, we need you, but our budget is exhausted. And year one, they said, Kevin, we could give you a cabin, but we can't pay you. Maybe 3-4 times. And I was just on, no. I know my worth. I know what I'm going to do when I get on that cruise.
Yeah.
And I declined. And Soak on the Seas hired me in 2017. But they never made a deposit, and they never sent a contract.
Okay.
And the amount they paid me for Uber Soca matched. I'm going to say the amount. It was a good amount. So I worked for my money. And as a result, so many people who wouldn't normally see me saw me. Coming back into 2018, I was a little disappointed with the scheduling. With the boat 1 and boat 2, I felt I did express this, that I felt I was underutilized. And I felt embarrassed actually, because people saw me and I posted something and it was like, yo, you should have been on boat 1. And I was. Well, you wouldn't do anything. I was embarrassed. So,
So let me cut you off real quick. Do you think that it's because they knew that it was 2 boats and they were trying to not stretch you too thin?
I think it's just a oversight. I
Okay.
think it was an oversight because it just wasn't me. I think it was a lot of different things, and I think because of the logistics of the 2 boats, I think it was an oversight creatively.
Okay.
Not blaming anybody, but this was a concern of mine going into year 4, which would have been my year 3, 2019.
Right.
So I made it my business to not say get noticed, because my profile was raised so much over those 4 years. Coming into 2019, I had a fan base and people were looking forward to me.
Yeah.
But I was sick on boat 1. I was sick. I had the flu. I was sick. I got no sleep. So you would see me perform and go right. And I just started the vegan diet, so I would perform and go back to my room. Perform and go back to my room. But things like the comedy show, which I winded up telling jokes on. I'm a natural. I have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
But I never thought I could be like a comedian. But all the comedians were just like floored how I went from, DJing and moving the crowd to just having them sit down and, doing what they do. And they told me I should, look into that. A guy said, yo, you add like 4 more jokes to what you just said and you have a solid routine. And, I posted on Instagram and it was like, yo, wow, Kevin, we already saw it. You was, you always comedic on the mic. I'm like, yeah, but it's, that's just my personality. I'm just, if you hang out with me for a day, you'll find out like I'm a clown.
So whenever I hear you say energy godson,
Yes.
you know, I always think of some type of energy drink or
Right.
something.
Right.
You know, and so I think like that so falls in line
Yes.
with what you're looking at.
Yes.
And so you just need to get the right proposal behind
Yes.
you and make that happen.
Yeah, I see the commercial. You ever see the day in the life of Kevin Crown video that we did where I woke up, then I was down here, then it was in the gym, and then I'll show it to you after.
Okay.
It's I always look at the commercial of me like, you know, going from DJing to like doing some crazy kicks to like, I don't know, it's that's the creative side of me working, but I'm being my own advocate right now. So sponsors, holla at me, man. But you know, I really want to thank Caribbean Elite again, and I can't wait to see the first issue, and of course you guys got to check out CaribbeanElite.com, man. Like, you know, this is something major, and we got to support our own. We got to support before a lot of times we support our own when the outside world embraces it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we should be at the level like when it does get embraced, because it will. And it has been already, that you could be like, yeah, I've been, what, you just now on this? Come on, I've been on Caribbean Elite. Come on. So you guys, you know, things is fingertips away. It's all in, you know, just type it in and, you know, take a few moments and check it out. Definitely. I know I am.
Well, thank you so much for this interview. We have so much content.
Yes.
I personally can't wait for the issue.
Yes.
But I'm even looking forward to just writing it, because I have so much to work with.
Thank you.
This looks like it's going to be a 5-page spread.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much.
But yeah, so Caribbean Elite thanks you for sitting down with us, for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Because your story could actually help to motivate the next person.
Yes.
And I wouldn't be surprised if after this interview airs, somebody reaches out to you and say, you know what? I needed to hear what you said.
Yeah.
Like, I needed that boost of motivation.
Yes.
I needed to understand what your journey was like, because my journey has been tumultuous, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of the trenches.
Oof.
And just you expressing that drive and motivation and tenacity within yourself.
Yeah.
I could see where that would propel the next person to do the same thing. So we thank you for sharing that story. As Kevin said, log on to CaribbeanElite.com, subscribe, read our articles. We have 2 issues that has been published. We're up for issue number 3 this January. Look out for it. And thank you for sitting in with us. And have a good one.
Yeah. We out. Ah.
All right, folks, that's it for this edition of Elite DJs. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to CaribbeanElite.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.